So, congratulations! That email from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is sitting in your inbox. You've got that beautiful certificate of incorporation. You're officially a founder. You're ready to go out and build your empire, right? But hang on a second. After that first rush of excitement, there's this pause, this feeling that you've just climbed a huge mountain, only to see a whole new mountain range you had no idea was even there. So what exactly are you supposed to do right now? Okay, let's get real for a minute, because this is the exact moment where about 90% of new founders make a huge mistake. Your first instinct is probably to think about designing a logo, building a website, maybe getting some fancy business cards printed. Stop. Seriously, just stop right there.
Because while you're busy worrying about what shade of blue to use, a legal clock has already started ticking. The second that certificate was issued, a 30-day compliance clock started counting down. And, well, it doesn't wait for anyone.
All of a sudden, you're getting hit with all this jargon you've probably never heard before. Somebody says you need a board resolution? What in the world is that?
And then someone else mentions you have to file something called an INC-20A. What even is that, and where are you supposed to file it? It's confusing, right? And what happens if you just ignore all these weird new terms? Well, that leads to a very clear, very painful outcome: fines. Big fines from the Registrar of Companies, or ROC. This isn't just annoying paperwork. It has real, actual financial consequences. You know, a good way to think about it is this. Getting incorporated is like being given a brand new car. It's shiny, it's all yours, but you don't have the keys, you don't have a license plate, and you definitely don't have insurance. You literally cannot legally drive it off the lot. So, how do we get you the keys so you can finally hit the road? Simple. You need a plan, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through a clear, step-by-step checklist to take your company from being just a company on paper to a real, fully operational business, all in your first 30 days.
So here it is, the 7 essential things you absolutely have to get done. We're going to walk through each one, from holding your first official meeting to setting up the systems that are going to keep you on the right side of the law for years to come.
All right, let's start with step 1. You have to hold your first board meeting. And yes, even if the board is just you in your kitchen, you still have to do it. The entire point of this meeting is to pass something called a board resolution, which is the official document that lets you do things like, say, open a company bank account.
And that resolution, that's your golden ticket to step 2, opening a dedicated bank account for your company. This is absolutely non-negotiable. It's not just about being organized, it's about creating a legal firewall between your money and the company's money. It is your #1 most important legal shield. Now on to step 3, which is all about this thing called Form INC-20A. The easiest way to think about this form is as your official permission to take off. You legally cannot start your business. You can't serve customers, you can't take out loans until this form is filed. It basically tells the government, hey, we've got our initial money in the bank and we're ready for business.
Next up, step 4, get your GSTIN. That's your Goods and Services Tax Identification Number. This is so important for 2 big reasons. First, a lot of big corporate clients won't even think about working with you if you don't have one. And second, it lets you claim back the GST you pay on your business expenses, which means you start saving money from day 1.
Okay, step 5 might sound a little strange, but trust me, it's mandatory, and people forget it all the time. You are legally required to have a sign board at your registered office address, and that board has to clearly display your company's full legal name, its corporate identification number, or SIN, and your GSTIN. Yes, seriously, a physical sign. It's the law.
Now for step 6, and this is a big one that trips up so many founders, registering your company name just secures the legal entity. It does not protect your brand. A trademark is what protects your brand identity, your name, your logo, and stops other people from using it. If you're building a brand, you need to file for a trademark, and you need to do it as soon as possible.
And finally, step 7 is all about thinking about the long game. Because compliance isn't something you do once. It's a rhythm you get into. You're going to have annual filings, GST returns. It's all part of running a business. So start right. Use proper accounting software from the very beginning. Please, whatever you do, do not try to run your company accounts on a spreadsheet. Look, I know that list is a lot. It can feel really confusing, pretty overwhelming, and let's be honest, it's a massive distraction from what you actually want to be doing, which is building your product and talking to your customers.
So really, this all brings you to a fundamental choice. You can spend your valuable, precious time focusing on compliance, worrying about paperwork, chasing deadlines, trying to manage all this legal risk, or you can focus on growth, on making your product better, on finding more customers, and on actually making money. So the question I want to leave you with is a simple one. As a founder, in these first critical months of your business, where is your time, your focus, and your energy truly best spent?